Attention everyone, the RawCast Live is now in session. Please get to your seats of assignment and get ready for another Yap Fest from your hosts, Raw Tactics and True Blue 77. Please keep your hands away from the lobotomites and enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, welcome home. Good to see everybody. We are back with another episode of the RawCast. I am your host, Raw Tactics, joined by my man, True Blue. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man. How is it going? I'm just laughing at the RawCast set up there. Gordon Ramsay, love it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, very good, very good. I didn't expect that, but yeah, I'm good. How's everybody getting on? I hope everybody's having a good morning, a good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. And we are just happy to be dishing out another RawCast. How's it going, chat? Everybody okay?
It's raw. I had to, dude. I had to. Shout out to Patty for this amazing artwork.
Of course it's Patty. Of course it is Patty.
Good morning, Mr. Nukeman, Mr. Duke, Lieber the Hermit, Paulina in the house. We got Intervoid. Patty Dunn did it himself. Good to see all you guys this morning. So, Mr. Blue, as always, what you been playing lately?
Just the usual stuff, if I'm being honest. I've been playing Battlefield, you know that. We had a little gaming session. It was last night for me. And what else have I been playing? Total Combat Resistance. What was the other game I'm playing? I've been playing Golden Axe Returns still, playing that, addicted. I don't know why. I don't know why I keep going back to that, but it's just a super fun hack and slash game, been playing that. I was looking at playing Tainted Grail again because they just received, again, not plugin, but they just received a patch that's apparently going to be the last one prior to going out of early access. So I've not tried that yet, but I will be playing that very, very soon. But yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, but Fallout 4 as well. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. What about you, Raw?
Yeah, I've actually had my eyes on that even more lately. Like, you've been talking about it a lot, but I saw the coverage recently where it got that last patch before it actually goes, like, full release. I was curious and, like, I was kind of wanting to get on that before the price jumps, too, because I'm sure the price is going to probably double. It usually goes for, what, like $25?
Yeah, and I mean, I've talked about it. I've waxed lyrical about it constantly on this channel, but it's just a great game. It's a good game, and it's considering it's in early access. There's like a few bugs here and there, but I mean, if you I've said it before, if you want a little bit of a Skyrim itch or whatever, or an Elder Scrolls itch, should I say? I think it'd be a good one to jump into Edge, so you can get it relatively cheap. And it's, you know, we compared it to like Avowed and stuff like that, and in my opinion, it's like it's more fun than that, and it's made by, again, people that it just seems like they know what they're doing in terms of what the gamer wants.
Right. Yeah, that's something I've had my eyes on, but as far as stuff that I've actually been playing, you guys already know. Fallout New Vegas. Can't let it go. Always gotta return to home. We've actually been mixing it up a little bit with Adamfall releasing actually that releases tomorrow. Yeah, so
Yeah,
with
27th, yeah.
with that releasing tomorrow, we've been playing a little bit of Zombie Army. It's made by the same studio, Rebellion. Games that I've absolutely loved for a long time. A lot of people around here weren't even familiar with the games, which is kind of cool, like getting to introduce most of these guys to a game series that I kind of grew up on, like the Zombie Army trilogy. For those of you that don't know, it's like a spin-off from Sniper Elite set in a zombie apocalypse setting. Yeah, Patty, we'll get to that. Give us just a moment.
Yeah, we weren't Patty, we weren't expecting to talk about this guy, but I mentioned it. I dropped his name in. Raw wasn't aware of who he was, but yeah, the whole we'll go into it, but it's the whole Assassin's Creed Shadows thing. Yeah, that's it's interesting. Elon Musk's involved. Grums is involved, so yeah, we thought we'd touch on it for a bit of controversy, shall we say?
So yeah, other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. We've been playing some Fallout and then a little bit of that. I guess go ahead and get in straight into the news. GameInformer. GameInformer is making a return, and they are seeming like they're going back true to form. The entire company that was disbanded is making a return. Every single person is reassuming their position from that company. Like that's incredible to see. Those of you that are stateside, I'm not sure. It seems like Game Informer was more of a US thing. For those of you don't know, it was like another PC gamer magazine type thing. They cover gaming news and stuff, obviously. It's something that I grew up on. I know a lot of people grew up on. They were partnered with, or actually, I think they're owned by GameStop, or they were owned by GameStop. Every time you get like a GameStop, whatever they call their rewards program, you get the monthly editions of the Game Informer magazine as well. A lot of people grew up on them because of that. A couple months ago, we covered them closing down. They are making a return. They're being bought out by another company that wants them to prioritize and remain independent. They don't want to be bought out. They don't want to be like swayed by shilling. They don't want to be in a HASAN situation. Or,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, I'm not aware of them. To be honest with you, I don't think I think it's more of a US thing because I wasn't aware of them in the UK, so I've not got much to say about them. I did look into it briefly about they're obviously reforming as the same sort of personnel. But what I noticed on X recently, there's a bit of controversy going on around them. They're already hiding comments and things like that. Don't know what that's all about. I need to look into it more. But yeah, it seems like people are questioning where they're getting the funding to come back and things like that. So again, this is just, I've not looked into it, so I might be way off. However, yeah, there seems to be a little controversy, but that just might be X and the grifters or the haters that are coming out and just spouting nonsense. So yeah, I'll keep a close eye on it. But like I said here, I'm not very aware of these guys in the UK.
Yeah, got you. Got you. Um, I guess now that's really it. Game Informer's making a return. Love to see it. I am curious what they're gonna do. They're talking about completely restructuring how they're. I don't know how they're structuring content. Um, I am kind of cautious about that. Cautiously optimistic. I want to see what exactly that means. Hopefully, it doesn't mean that they're going, quote unquote woke. But we'll see.
That's the thing. Sorry, that's that was the kind of vibe I was getting off X reading stuff. There was a lot of people questioning it and saying, "Are these going to, like, to quote you rather, just are they going to be going woke? Is this going to be a different studio? What's the purpose of them coming back? How are they going to approach it?" But a lot of the stuff that I seen on X was, this potentially might be them coming back, but being very different to what they were.
Yeah, hopefully not. But I mean, only time will tell on that one. Uh, Next mainline title, Assassin's Creed Shadows, is supposedly already sold over, what are they claiming, 2 million copies? Or they're claiming 2 million players? Yeah, to be
Two
very
million
specific.
players.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of controversy behind this. Like I think the majority of the people in the chat know that Ubisoft it's on its arse. It's not doing very well financially and stuff like that, and it's been taking a lot of flack from gamers in general and the products they've been pushing out recently. And yeah, Assassin's Creed Shadows, it seems like they're going for a big push to say, trying to make it out to be successful, where in reality, when you look at the facts and figures in terms of Steam players, concurrent players, and actual copies sold, it's not doing great at all. I think it's on par with like Dragon Age. I'll need to check my figures again, but that's what I last saw. So it doesn't seem like it's being that it's that successful at the moment, and the weekend has just been it topped up a little bit. It's fallen down again a little bit, but yeah, the controversy behind it is, well, the company itself are trying to push it as big as they can, as best as they can, should I say, because I think they know that they're in trouble. The company's in at the minute, which kind of leads on to the whole HASAN thing. It's something that I saw on X. I don't follow this guy, by the way, so HASAN, he's a Twitch streamer, very left-sided political speaker, Turkish American, lives in America. And yeah, he's very opinionated, has a huge following. I don't like the guy. Just chucking it out there, my personal preference. I don't like him at all. He's been quite controversial when he's talking about certain conflicts. I don't want to go into too much of that. That could cause a bit of a ruckus in the chat. I don't know why I do that. But yeah, he's apparently been paid by the Assassin's Creed Shadow guys, Ubisoft, whatever you want to call them, and he's like basically shilling for them at the moment, which has got a bit of crazy response on Twitter because Elon Musk's weighed in. Grums as well. And I don't know if people are aware of Grums, the guy that was involved in World of Warcraft and things like that. They're basically he's very anti Assassin's Creed Shadows, and he's basically against Ubisoft and what they're doing and things like that, and he's basically trying to expose them on X for what they are really. But yeah, this HASAN fella, he's looks like he's been paid by Ubisoft to spread the love on Twitter, not Twitter, sorry, on Twitch and things like that, and shell for them. But yeah, Elon Musk got involved. I'm just bear with me. I'm just looking at the tweet itself. But yeah, oh my god, he's Elon Musk. Like he's Hassan's actual post saying playing Assassin's Creed Shadows once more. Get it now for gaming. Buy it here, blah blah blah. And Elon Musk has commented, Hassan is a fraud. Sellout would be more accurate. Objectively, he is promoting a terrible game just for the money. Now, the controversial thing is the actual Assassin's Creed account is fired back, and they actually said, is that what the guy playing your Path of Exile 2 account told you? And
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that tweet has currently got 641,000 likes. So Elon Musk got ratioed massively there, 41.2 million views on that. So yeah, the controversy is there. And there's already other streamers, Asmongold, I was watching as well, saying that Elon Musk and Hassan should have a one-on-one in Elden Ring, see who wins. I'd pay to watch that. To be fair, I would watch that. But yeah, I'm just looking at the comments at the minute, and yeah, this Hassan fella, I don't like him at all. I think Patty says it in the chat. He's a multi-millionaire. No, sorry, it's Andrew B saying he's a multi-millionaire socialist. Yeah, that sums him up,
Yeah.
right? He's sitting in his ivory tower, his little mansion and stuff like that, multi-million mansion, and telling you how you should be living your life, how you should be acting. The sort of the left ideology thing that goes on, Muslim socialist commie that gets paid capitalism money. Yeah, absolutely, Patty. That's the comment I just read there. But he's something, he's a person that I don't like at all. From his political views and stuff like that. But it just shows you. It kind of shows you how Twitch and Ubisoft are working. They're just like, they're. He's obviously got a big following, so they know that they can chuck stuff at him, and he'll promote it. But yeah, it was controversial from day one. Having a black protagonist as a samurai, that's not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not bothered about that, but it seemed to rile up a lot of people. And there was a lot of historical inaccuracies in terms of Japan and things like that. There was also the like shrines that were getting you had the ability to, as the protagonist, to smash up and vandalize like Japanese like sacred shrines, and apparently that's now been patched out the game. So there's been a lot of controversy in that. I'm just reading in our voice comment as well. Not a big Assassin's Creed fan myself. Pretty sure that series peaked at Black Flag, sorry, and 100% agree with that. That was the last one I really enjoyed. I liked Valhalla; it was okay, but Black Flag was probably the best one for it. But yeah, Raw. I mean, everything I've just discussed. What do you make of it? I mean, this Hassan fella, shilling for Ubisoft, and yeah, it just stinks a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, dude, for sure. And let me make it very clear for those that don't know, I don't support Ubisoft in the slightest. But that Assassin's Creed comeback on Twitch was awesome. Or on Twitter, that was awesome. Like, that,
Yeah,
that rebuttal was incredible. But yeah, he's clearly shilling for him. I don't know. Anything that he supports, I'm gonna be against. Just to be completely honest with you, I had
Yeah,
never heard of this dude until you brought him up to me right before this cast went live, and based off of his standing with certain world events and certain locations and certain terrorist groups, I can't support a clown like this. Like, who the hell is this dude? I don't care how many followers you have. Like we got a lot of people around here that are active duty, prior service, like fought for their countries, fought against the kind of groups that he seems to be supporting. Again, I don't know. From what I understand, he seems to be supporting them, right? Like I
yeah.
can't
So
get behind shit like that.
he is from what I've seen, and he's interviewed people that are part of terrorist organizations and stuff like that. And yeah, he just he's someone that one of his mods as well. I think her name's Frogan or whatever. She looks like, I'm not gonna. I'm trying so hard not to swear or insult here, but yeah, just let's put it this way. She's not a very. She likes to eat. Let's put it that way. She likes to eat, and she is one of her. She is one of his mods. And I tell you what, she came out with this, and you can find it. You can search for this clip. But she basically wished PTSD on all American soldiers. And she got a fucking huge backlash for this. Sorry, I swore, but yeah, she got a massive backlash for this, rightly so. Because that's disgusting stuff to say. Especially, I think she's living in the US as well, being one of his little like henchmen, which is pretty disgusting. Saying that about people with families and things like that are serving the US military. Completely against that, but they've recently been, the two of them and a few others got banned, got Twitch bans. They're back on now, I think, but yeah, they got banned rightly. But I don't think Twitch are going to be as as harsh or as what's the word I'm looking for? Just they should be harsher is what I'm trying to say. But because of they make money for Twitch, right? Because of the following,
Right.
the Hassan has a huge following and stuff like that. So they're not going to throw a major ban hammer on these guys because they're making the money. And I don't know how they're being allowed to spout this stuff, but it seems like Twitch, and I think Twitch is it's very left leaning. It's from what I've seen, it's like they despise it. Like, I mean, I have no political affiliation in terms of who I support in terms of like Trump and stuff like that, but they're very anti-Trump from what I've seen it, and anyone that speaks out or supports him seems to get more flack. So there's a bit of you know, um, hypocrisy going on there, I think, and it's just yeah, that's why I don't go on Twitch. So might have gone on a bit of a tangent there, but yeah, that's my view on sort of those sort of people, because someone that like a mod that wishes PTSD on serving American soldiers is pond life to me is absolute scum.
Yeah. No, 100%, dude. 100%. That is absurd. The people that are out here fighting for you to have the freedom and the ability to get online
To
and
do
state
that,
your
yeah,
voice and state your opinion
absolutely.
and make money sitting at home playing games and stuff like that. Dude, people take
In a
that kind of
fucking
stuff for
mansion, mate.
granted. Like people don't understand. These people that don't have family that have been in military, that haven't been military themselves, the people that
Yeah.
just he's they act like spoiled brats, like they're
Mm.
just granted all this stuff and have no idea where any of it actually comes from. They don't know what's had to be done for them to have these advantages that they have in life. Like one
I
thing that
think a
I
lot.
highly recommend is anytime you guys get the chance, travel the world, look at how great most of our like first world countries have it compared to some of these third world places. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
if you go
Yeah.
out and see the difference between how you're living and how other people are living, that starts to put stuff into perspective.
It's a shame because like you said, a lot of these people haven't done that. The people that follow these people, these like the Hassans and stuff like that of this world, and they're taking his stuff as gospel, on Twitch because he's got such a big following. They think that what he says is correct, where a lot of it isn't. And like you said, Raw, a lot of people aren't aware of how the military actually operates and stuff like that. They watch a lot of movies and stuff like that, and the military a lot of the time are portrayed badly in movies, right?
Right.
Um, you know, but they don't actually see the real life stuff. So even when I was at my former job, I was explaining to people what I actually did in the military and stuff like that, and it opened a lot of, opened their eyes a bit, and they were just like, oh, I didn't realize that. From not only my personal experience in terms of how I was trained and how I was, how the qualifications that I got from the military, but also the complexities in terms of modern combat and things like that. People like, I've seen stuff on social media. I know I'm going on a tangent here, but I've seen stuff on social media about like carpet bombing, killing babies and stuff like that. I know that's, I don't want to lower the tone, but a lot of it is absolute, horse shit. It's like the stuff the media portrays the military to be is terrible. And, don't get me wrong, there's bad eggs in every sort of industry and things like that.
Right.
But you have to be thinking the governments as well. It's more the governments. These guys are trying to do a job, but the governments have got these, they're trying to, I don't know. I don't know how I should put this, but they're trying to get their own way, I guess. They're putting people in harm's way to benefit their own political status and things like that. There's oil involved. There's all that sort of stuff. I could go on and on, but yeah, you get the point, Raw. You get the point, right?
Yeah, I do. This this dude's a clown. That's it. This dude is a
Yeah,
clown.
but yeah. So I mean, going away from that scumbag, what's next on the agenda? What you got up for us?
You guys want to talk positive? You want to talk something good? Let's talk a
Yeah,
little
we'll talk
good.
positive.
Adversity in their lives, the only reason they live for level drama is because they have nothing challenge. Yes, yes. Zalias, Andrew, I've been seeing you guys in chat. I'm not responding to every single message, but yes, it seems like we're all on the same page with this, and I agree with a lot of what is being said in chat right now.
I agree. Sorry to interrupt. I agree. I agree with Zelis has just said, and he nails it 100%. Some of these people need some adversity in their lives, which is a comment that is like hands down correct. The only
Yeah,
reason they live for this level of drama is because they have nothing challenging them in their own lives. That is bang on the money, 100%, man. Definitely, I agree with that.
yeah. I think that's kind of the perfect way to transition out of this too. Like that is the peak comment. Good job, Zalias. Um,
Wait a minute, it's
Patty.
starting again. Wait a minute,
Yeah.
it's Patty. Blue House 2K's golf game. Mate, I don't know where you're getting that from. I've not played golf. I've not been playing a golf game. I don't know where you're getting that stuff from. He's making it up.
So we talk a lot. You've not missed it, smooches. We talk a lot. Good to see you too. About the negative side of the games industry. And we talk a lot about what's going on negatively because it seems to be the majority of what there actually is to discuss right now. However, as I said near the end of last year, this looks like it could be a potentially solid year for gaming as far as some releases go. We kind of want to fill you guys in on stuff that we've had our eyes on. Some of it you've already heard about, but I think that I have some stuff for you guys that's going to be brand new. Uh, Blue, do you want to kick it off or you want me to take over?
I'll kick it off. So, I want to talk about, and we touched on it last night, or sorry, whatever the time was. But I mentioned, and I think it's been mentioned before on RawCasts. But Kingsmakers is a game that's really grabbed my attention. Right, so for people that are unaware of Kingsmakers, I'm going to talk about it. Raw, you're probably going to bring it up on stream, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to go into it. So Kingsmakers is an up-and-coming action strategy sandbox game developed by Redemption Road and published by Tiny Build. The game uniquely blends medieval warfare with modern weaponry, offering players an opportunity to alter historical events. So originally slated for a 2024 release, Kingsmakers is now scheduled to enter early access on PC via Steam in 2025. Now, an overview basically of this game is in Kingsmakers, players assume the role of an elite operative sent back 500 years to medieval England with a mission of changing the course of a devastating war to prevent a future apocalypse. Very Terminator sounding like. This narrative sets the stage for a fusion of third-person shooting, real-time strategy, and city building elements. Now, when I first saw this trailer, I saw a lot of the action and stuff like that, but I didn't realize there was going to be city building elements. So that heightened my expectations even more. I was very excited about it. But the game features large scale battles, and I mean large scale battles, with thousands of soldiers, each controlled by advanced AI that dedicates their decision making and pathfinding. Players can wield modern firearms such as assault rifles, shotguns, and grenade launchers against medieval foes. Can you imagine? Like it's something I mentioned before. If anyone's seen the film Army of Darkness, from the Evil Dead series, that would be, it would sound very familiar. Additionally, there's vehicles like armored SUVs, there's M1 Abrams tanks, attack helicopters. They're all available, enabling the player to bring gunfights to a sword fight and wreak havoc on the battlefield. Now, from the footage I've seen, it looks absolute carnage, and I'm all for this game. I'm all for it. It just looks like a super fun game. And again, what made me more interested is it has multiplayer and co-op features. It supports online co-op gameplay, allowing up to 3 friends to join forces and lead their own armies against the players. Together, they can coordinate strategies to break down enemy defenses or defend against allied strongholds against opposing forces. As of now, there are no announced plans for PvP mode, but the developers have indicated openness to considering it based on community feedback. The development and early access plans are as such. The development team, Redemption Road, excuse me. I've been working on Kingmakers for over 4 years, focusing on building proprietary technology for rendering animation, AI, and online multiplayer functionalities within the Unreal Engine 5, which is interesting. The early access phase on Steam is extended to gather, is it intended, should I say, to gather players' feedback and refine the game through the exact duration of the phase. Although, sorry, the exact duration of the phase has not been specified. It's going to be on PC, Steam Early Access. Developers have planned to release the game on consoles, including Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, following the full release of the 1.0 on PC. But yeah, I'm hyped for this game. It looks crazy. It's something I kind of, I fantasized as a kid. What would it be like to travel back in time? With modern weaponry and fight against a medieval army. You've got like, can you imagine the possibilities? You've got an M1 Abrams tank like smashing through buildings. You've got like assault rifles and stuff like that against hordes of guys in medieval armor and stuff like that. I bet old Henry wouldn't like that. Kingdom Come Deliverance, wouldn't he? If he pitched up and you were having a scuffle with some fella and he pitches up with an assault rifle or an RPG or something like that. Yeah, he's having a bad day, isn't he? But yeah, it looks incredible, and I don't know if you can see it on stream. I bet Ross playing it right now, but yeah, it looks incredible. Raw, your thoughts on this game?
I'm super excited for this. I've got a whole lot of personal expenses coming up, but regardless of what happens, I'm gonna set money aside for this game. Like, I hope to God they actually stick with Q2 of 2025 for the release. This is one of those games that, like, reflecting on it now, how has this not been done before? Like this seems like such a I don't know, such a easy thing to pull off. I don't want to
Yeah,
discredit them, like the concept is not necessarily anything new, but how has this not been done before in gaming? It looks incredible though. Like it looks like they pulled so many things off so well. And one thing that I love is the fact that they have destruction in it as well. And it looks like
yeah,
Battlefield Bad Company 2 levels of destruction where you can just wipe out everything. And I'm excited for that.
yeah. Going to back to what you were saying about, I'm surprised you were surprised that no one's done this before. Going back to Army of Darkness, you know, I'm surprised no one's made a game that was like that. I mean, there's obviously been Evil Dead games and stuff like that, but not to the scale of this. And speaking of scale, I'm not concerned, but I think that I'm wondering what the specs are to play this game, right? Because it looks like there's a lot of stuff going on in terms of AI and like soldiers on the battlefield and stuff like that. I think you might gonna have to have a decent rig to play this. I reckon in full. Like if you're going to go to 1440 or maybe even 2160, it looks like it's going to be heavy on the performance. So it'll be interesting to see what it's like when it comes out firstly, and obviously early access and things like that for guys to play. But yeah, from the footage I've seen, it's amazing. And yeah, Andrew B saying, as a kid, I fantasized about an adult. You're not wrong, mate. And what was the other one? I saw a boomstick comment. Yeah, it's Andrew B again. Modern day warrior versus medieval armies. This is my boomstick. Yeah, he gets the Evil Dead reference 100%. Yeah, it looks sick. It does look really, really good, man.
Yeah, good to see all you guys. Mr. Brett back in the building. Nice to have you here, sir. Um, yeah, dude, I'm super excited for this one. This one's been in my wish list for a little while now, and it's not going anywhere. Like, it's going from
Same.
the wish list into my games list. Like, that's about it. Hopefully we can get some news on this relatively soon. They've been actually, yeah, they were featured in the Future Games show on March 21st. Other than that, it's been relatively quiet around this game from what I've been seeing.
Yeah, I think like you said, I've had it on my wish list for a while, and I saw the initial preview trailer or whatever it was months ago. But I've been keeping tabs on it. But the like I said, they've released new footage, and you can see it on the screen, and it just looks mad. Like the guy you're using a grenade launcher against all those troops, and you're using a sniper rifle, and yeah, you're plowing through like countless amount of troops in like SUVs, and it looks absolutely insane. Insane. It does look
Yeah.
definitely insane. And I'm just looking forward to actually get my hands on it.
Oh. Um,
So we planned to talk about like two or three games each that we're kind of looking forward to. And the big one for me, it's going to be interesting, is the new Battlefield game. So we've seen how 2042 like started, disastrous launch, not very good, buggy as hell, but it's in a good state now. We're actually playing it last night. But the new Battlefield has had a lot of leak footage because of the playtesting thing that's going on in Battlefield Labs. So we've seen footage of like what it's going to be like in it. And again, I'll kind of summarize what I know about Battlefield. So the up and coming Battlefield installment, it's referred to as Battlefield 2025, but I don't know what the official title is going to be. It's generating a considerable amount of anticipation among fans and industry observers. It's developed collaboratively by 4 EA studios this time. So it's DICE, Criterion Games, EA Motive, and Ripple Effect Studios. And the game aims to deliver a comprehensive and engaging experience that revitalizes the franchise.
You,
That's
kind
key for me.
sir.
It needs to be revitalized. It needs a good kick up the arse, because yeah, it's not been the same since BF3 and 4 for me. But it's going to return back to the modern warfare roots. In response to like community feedback, the new Battlefield is set to return to a modern warfare setting, reminiscent of, like I said, 3 and 4. The shift marks a departure from the futuristic themes of 2042, aiming to recapture the series' core appeal. Vince Zampella, the head of Respawn and Group GM for EA Studios, emphasised that his direction, stating the goal was to get back to the essence of what made Battlefield resonate with players, and I think we can all agree with that, being like hardcore Battlefield players. I know a lot of people in the chat might feel the same. But it's going back to like a traditional class system and refined multiplayer, and the game will reintroduce the assault, engineer, support, and recon, moving away from the specialist system, which I thought was pretty shit, to be honest. In 2042, this aims to foster deeper strategic play and team dynamics, make it more immersive. You know, I think me and Zelius were discussing it. We want to just play as the grunt, you know, in that battlefield, and like advance in class, I guess, and you know, upgrade the weapons and stuff. But the large scale 128 player battles will be scaled back to 64, which I massively agree with, because I thought 128 players was too much. However, again, I was talking to Zelius about this last night, and it was just implemented badly, the 128 player battles, because there wasn't enough cover and the maps are not great in 2042. But yeah, 64 sounds a lot better to me, focusing on more intense and manageable engagements. This is going to be a single player campaign as well for the guys that like it. So, unlike its predecessor, it will feature a single player campaign developed by EA Motive and Criterion Games. Narrative driven experience seeks to provide a compelling storyline that complements the multiplayer component. Details about the campaign remain under wraps at the minute, though. I've not seen much of that. but its inclusion signifies a commitment to delivering a well-rounded package, single player, multiplayer, all that sort of stuff that the previous games had. Ripple Effect Studios, it's rumoured to be developing a standalone Battle Royale mode as well. Don't know how I feel about that, but potentially expanding the game's appeal and replayability. Furthermore, reports suggest the inclusion of a map editor within the portal mode. That'd be awesome. Empowering players to create and share custom content, thereby enhancing community engagement and content longevity. But yeah, the stage that they're at the minute is obviously development and testing timeline, should I say. EA, like I mentioned before, has initiated a community-driven testing program known as Battlefield Labs, allowing selected players to participate in the early playtests. Zalius, I believe, has been part of that. So yeah, it's interesting seeing the footage, the destruction, the sort of throwback to Battlefield 3 and 4. And I'm myself super excited to. Well, I'm excited, but I'm cautious as well because I know that a lot of people aren't. There's like a 50-50 split, I reckon, in the community at the minute, thinking, oh, they're really excited for this, but then people are quite skeptical as well that hopefully they don't make an arse of it. What do you make of it, Raw?
Uh, Again, this is another one I'm cautiously optimistic for. EA has been on a downward spiral for a long time. Battlefield has been on that downward spiral because, I mean, they're owned by EA, like it's. I want them to get back to their roots. I want them to be like Battlefield Bad Company 2 vibes. And that's what this game is definitely giving me. It's Bad Company 2 levels of destruction, but with more modern engine, with higher fidelity graphics, with back to their roots of what made Battlefield, more emphasis on story. I hope that they put a little bit more emphasis on story with this one. Uh, I I don't know, dude. I'm not hopeful. Like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic. I want this thing to succeed, but the way that EA's been doing Battlefield for what, like the past 5 years now, 5, 6+ years, I'm not really. I don't know. I'm withholding judgment until it's here.
Yeah, I mean, Battlefield. I thought, like, obviously 3 and 4 were the GOAT for me, and the original Battlefield 2, like they were the staples for me in the franchise. But I didn't mind. Battlefield 1 was all right. It was okay. It was cinematic. Like it was very like immersive. It was
Yeah,
great. I didn't like the
yeah.
gunplay. I didn't like the gunplay in it though. There was some aspects. I like the sweet spot sniper mechanic. That was pretty cool.
That's one of the
And I didn't
best
mind.
things they've ever added. That needs to make a return.
I didn't mind Battlefield 5 either. I thought Battlefield 5 was okay. It was
Yeah,
all right. I mean,
yeah.
the gunplay was okay and stuff like that. But the problem with that one was like they picked like these random battles that no one had heard of. Like everybody surely like wanted to see, the storming of like the Save It Private Ryan style storming of the beaches and all that sort of stuff. But they didn't do that. It was like they went away from and just all these random battles that they did happen, but the focus towards it was pretty poor for me. It could have been so much better, but the mechanics and stuff I thought was good. I thought the gunplay was good. It was like you being able to dive on your back and the movement and all that kind of stuff. It was all right, but then it, don't want to go into it, but it's like the woke aspect again. It's like there's female soldiers with prosthetic limbs, and that's like what? Like it just completely destroyed the immersion for me. Yeah, but I think that's all I've got to say about Battlefield and stuff like that. But I'm like you say, I'm cautiously optimistic. Yeah, that's my final thoughts on that. So I mean, Raw, let's talk about games that you're looking forward to. I've hogged this for a little bit. Go on.
First of all, shout out to Smooches. I missed it. Blue was on, I think, his first game when you did that. Shout out to Smooches for that gifted membership, my man. And congratulations,
Oh,
Mr. D Hertzfeld. I think it's Hertzfeld. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Congratulations on that membership. Thank you, Smooches. Very much appreciated, sir. Uh, yeah, I mean, kind of like what Anthro was saying. We want the same game but different, not different games that are the same. It's such a fine line. Like real quick before we move on to mine, you were saying that it's weird that they chose all these random battles that no one had ever heard of, right? I mean, to play devil's advocate, like I could see why they would do something like that because so many of for the longest time games were focusing on like World War I, World War II, right? For the longest time, we had a World War II game after World War II game after World War II game. Look at Call of Duty 1, 2, 3. Uh, I'm pretty sure some of the old Battlefield games, right? Yeah, Battlefield 1942. Or, yeah. Yeah, that one was sit around. I can see why
You
they
can
would
play.
try some of these obscure settings.
I can't. I totally disagree with that. Sorry. I think that's absolute bollocks because it's like the advancement of the graphics as well. Why wouldn't people want to be storming the beaches like doing? You've seen the DLCs that eventually came out later on as well. The Japanese beach invasion. I can't remember the name of it, but was it Ojima, whatever it was. I think that's right. But honestly, why would you want to play? You know, all these games are influenced by scenes in movies a lot of the time as well. And why would you not want to play like that? Because I know it's been done, but if it's done even better, graphically enhanced, the sound and stuff like that, that's what appeals to these players. I don't want to be running about like as a female. Where were they like in World War II and stuff like that with a prosthetic limb? Yeah, it just it
Yeah,
just
some
completely
of
breaks
those
them.
decisions. The
Yeah,
whole
but yeah,
prosthetic limbs and all that was kind of wild. Like they
why why
started
why would
losing
you
me.
not? To me, Iwo Jima, yes, thanks, Patty. That's the one. Um, but yeah, why would you not want to play these epic? Like these are the most iconic battles in World War Two and World War One. Why would you not want to play that? Like I don't understand when you go to like like what did they do? They played like a map in Rotterdam, which was okay. It was all right, but it just these games for me are supposed to be about first of all, the multiplayer aspect is playing as a team, being immersed, being in these environments. Like you could be, escaping reality, be like feeling like what it would be like to be a soldier. I know it's a video game, but feeling like it's like to be like storming that beach or getting to these points using bandoliers to destroy, fortifications and all that kind of stuff. And it just wasn't there. It was just it was watered down. That's the best way I could put it. But yeah, no, I'm sorry, Raw. I disagree with the whole. Oh yeah, they were trying something new, but you could try something new in it. Like you could try something new with Fallout and put the Fallout environment in somewhere desolate and like that's not very interesting. Would you be happy with that? I wouldn't be. Just imagine if they put Fallout in, I don't know, God, some random place that hasn't got any environmental significance. I just it's not appealing to me, and it wouldn't sell either. It wouldn't sell to the people that have watched movies and watched epic moments and these scenes, and that's my viewpoint on that. Sorry, but I feel strongly on that, and I disagree.
Oh, you're
Controversial
good,
on
dude.
controversial on RawCast.
That's the whole point of these broadcasts, though. Like, that's the
Yeah.
whole point. Like, the different perspectives. I appreciate it. No need to apologize. I disagree with you 100%. I still stick by that. I get what you're saying. I do have an open mind. I can see the different perspectives, but with them at least trying to send different locations and different battles that people may not even be familiar with, I can appreciate that. Did they pull it off successfully? No. Did they do it the best that they could have? Probably not. But I do appreciate them at least trying to send us to the places we hadn't seen. Because, like Zalius was pointing out, and like I was starting to touch on, you had Medal of Honor, Call of Duty, Brothers in Arms, Battlefield 1942, the Red Orchestra series. Like, you had all these games set in the major battles of World War II, but there were so many smaller locations that didn't ever really get touched. And I appreciate them at least thinking of that. They may not have done it successfully, but I would love to see them actually pull that off, or somebody pull that off. Like,
So it, the word that springs to mind is boring, absolutely boring, and they failed. So
it's
there you go.
boring. The
You,
fact that
it
they're
is boring.
trying different locations is boring. The
Yeah,
places that
boring,
no one has
boring
heard of
locations.
because they're not
Yeah,
mainline mainstream battles, it makes it boring.
yep,
Oh my
100%.
god, this
Boring.
dude, this dude. All right, to each his own. We can agree to disagree on that one.
Yeah, we know who's right.
This is raw tech. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Uh, Next up on my list, have I covered anything? No, I haven't. So first up on my list, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Tides of Annihilation. This game looks incredible, and it definitely came up out of nowhere for me. So, reading exactly what it says about it, Tides of Annihilation is a fantasy action adventure inspired by Arthurian legend. So, from what I've gathered, this game is set in a somewhat like apocalyptic Britain, right? Like, don't think Fallout Apocalypse. This is more like Alien Apocalypse. It looks
From what I
crazy.
sorry, Rod, just a quick one. From what I've seen, it seems like it's set in a modern London ravaged by an otherworldly invasion. Players assume the role of Gwendolyn, the lone survivor who discovers the ability to command spectral knights inspired by Arthurian legends. So it's like an alien invasion, right?
Right. So there's some type of alien invasion going on. There's a lot of stuff that's kind of left up in the air right now. You guys can see this on screen. One thing that I'm really liking about this game, it has that old school God of War vibe to it. Like the original God of War, where you're fighting it it doesn't necessarily look a button mashy, right? But it kind of does have that button mashy type gameplay look at the same time. It's like God of War mixed with Elden Ring, mixed with like Shadow of the Colossus. I've gotten huge Shadow of the Colossus vibes. Some of the enemies that you go against, as you see on screen right now as I'm talking, she's fighting more of like a kind of normal sized enemy boss, right? It's a few times larger than you. But then there's other sections where she's like platforming and scaling up the side, doing some like Uncharted ledge maneuvering up the side of a monster that's like, I don't know, world-shattering size. It looks incredible. There's so many aspects of this game that mix, like I said, kind of Dark Souls vibes, kind of God of War, kind of Uncharted, Shadow of the Colossus. And it looks like something that's been kind of done before, but new and refreshing at the same time. Uh, I'm gonna be keeping my eye on this one for sure. It is in my wish list right now. It doesn't have a set date, but they're anticipating a release later this year. It's being developed by Eclipse Glow Games. That is a
Wait a
brand new.
minute. Wait a minute. You're saying it's been done before. Boring.
I guess. I guess.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Looks like Witchblade. I'm not even familiar with Witchblade. Like a female God of War. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Shadow. Yeah, yeah. So you guys are seeing it too. It's like a mix of so many of these different games that have been kind of done before, but it does look fresh enough to make it its own unique experience in a way. Um, it's being produced by Eclipse Games. I've never heard of them before, and it turns out they are a brand new studio. They're China based. They are actually owned. Yes, they are funded. They're not necessarily owned, but they are funded by Tencent. Just to kind of give you an idea of who they are. Uh, there's said to be 30 boss battles that seem to vary drastically in size and mechanics, as we kind of discussed. Honestly, this seems like a crazy change of pace. It's all those old school vibes with modern aesthetics I've been saying I wanted, and this one could deliver exactly that. So, yep. Do get out of here with that, Ellie. Tides of Annihilation. That's the one to keep
Yeah.
eye on if you guys are interested.
Yeah, it looks all right, doesn't it? Looks not too bad.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in it. Is this your type of game at all? Do you have any interest in a game like that, Blue?
See, after playing Elden Ring, there's going to be a lot of like because it looks very. I know it's probably not as. It looks similar to Elden Ring, right? It's got
Hmm.
the sort of aspects like of boss battles and all that kind of stuff, but it's going to take a lot to top Elden Ring for me. And if I was to shell my cash out, I would need to see the reviews and obviously I'll do my research into it to buy it. But if ever I wanted anything like this, I would probably delve back to Elden Ring. I've not played the DLC of Elden Ring, so I might go like try that out before I try this. But no, it does look promising. It doesn't look bad. I'll say that. But it looks like again, it's been done, I guess, and not very revolutionary. And I mean that in the best possible way. So it'll take a lot for me to shell out my cash on it.
Right.
going from reviews and stuff. But I mean that positively. It doesn't look bad at all.
Next up on my list, Clockwork Revolution. This is another one that just kind of came up out of nowhere. This one is being produced by In Exile Entertainment. The In Exile Studios, this is the one that brought you Wasteland 3. Shout out to Gears fan for getting us to play Wasteland 3 on stream a while back. It seemed like everyone was enjoying that for the most part. I definitely enjoyed my time with it. They have some great writers over there. This
Yeah, good game.
this is definitely inspired by BioShock. Like, without a single doubt, this is BioShock Infinite cranked up to 11 in a lot of aspects. As you guys can see, those of you that are familiar with BioShock, it is clearly got that same type of steampunk inspired vibe. The again, this seems like one that's been kind of done before, but they're cranking it up. Those of you that are familiar with BioShock Infinite, why it seemed to fail for a lot of people, one of the aspects, you know, Elizabeth, the woman from BioShock Infinite story, she has the power to rip through space and time. She can open up these portals. And Blue, this is probably gonna be new info for you, right? Like, so she
Yeah.
can rip these like kind of portals through space and time, right? And in theory, that makes an amazing video game concept. You have a companion on your side that can literally tear through space and time, bring you to different locations, pull you out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could do so much with that. But in reality, what happened gameplay mechanic wise, you would tell her that it's basically, hey, I need ammo or I need health, and then she would do this like tear through space or time and get you ammo or health. Like that's really all it boiled down to, was just an additional companion that could get you uh little things that you need in game. It was kind of wasted potential except for a couple story points. This is taking that you can't rip through space and time. This one is just more time related, so you can actually travel back to historic events, things that happen in game, and like you can do this live. I'm not sure exactly how it all works mechanically, but um, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. Translating again, kind of lame. Clockwork Revolution appears to be taking inspiration from BioShock Infinite and running with it. You get the variety of steampunk-like weapons, off-the-hand abilities. But instead of Sidekick pulling off these tricks, the player has the ability to manipulate time and change how events unfold in real time. Let me see if I can find one of these situations to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure in the trailer there is a moment where you see everything kind of fade to black and white. Yeah, right here. So you see how the player gets to kind of manipulate time and rewind a certain segment, how they restore that bridge right there. They destroyed a bridge to kill one of the people that was on it, but then they rewound time to where the bridge was intact and brought the bridge back to life. Apparently, these mechanics can greatly alter how the game progresses over time too. If you notice, some of the sections that we're in have like the brighter, clearer skies, and other sections have the dark gray sky. That I'm not sure 100% if that's like signifying the future and the past, or if that's like, you know, quote unquote, the bad ending, the evil way of progressing. It looks, I don't know, it looks fun.
Looks alright. I'm just laughing at I'm just laughing at Zealous. He's got return to form. Yeah, we've seen a lot, haven't we? Return to form. That old chestnut.
Right? Uh, Good to see you, Mr. Paul Denis. Thank you for dropping by, sir. Always a pleasure. My son
Oh,
was
there he is.
successor to Fallout 2. He said
Yeah.
boo. He said boo. Boo what? Patty 3 was trash? Oh, yeah. Oh, you're talking about Wasteland 3. Saying
Oh, that's
Wasteland 3 was trash?
Wasteland 3's trash? Oh, that's controversial. That I thought it was a really, really good game.
The story and
Wasteland
writing from
3.
BioShock Infinite. Yeah, I'm there with you, Zalius. It just had a lot of wasted potential when it comes to the gameplay mechanics, and it looks like this one could be like really, really taking what they've kind of set in stone, like started with, and just running with it from there. I'm excited for this one. It's win Adamfall tomorrow, sir. Adamfall releases tomorrow. That will be on stream. You better believe that. Really looking forward to Judas. Dude, yes, I'm looking forward to Judas too. That's one that I wasn't planning on covering. For those of you that don't know, the original creator of the OG BioShock, the one that was like revolutionary when it came out and kind of progressed the games industry as a whole. Uh, he has branched off and he's making his own studio. They're creating their own game titled Judas, and that too seems like it's going to be heavily BioShock inspired. He's taking a lot of what he learned and kind of some of those concepts from BioShock and making his own game out of it. I'm excited, dude. Like, we haven't had a BioShock sequel in so long. It's gonna be cool. Although this isn't BioShock itself, it is very clearly pulling every inspiration from it.
Patty's just clarifying it was Bioshock Infinite 3 was trash.
Ah, okay, yeah. BioShock Infinite, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It was so divisive. So many people had so many different opinions on it, primarily because of all the wasted potential it had. The story was kind of all over the place. The ending was like obscure, and you had to watch a lot of YouTube videos and like, it was crazy. It was crazy. Writer and director of both BioShock, yeah. 2 is a spinoff, yeah. 2 is pretty fun too, though. I know a lot of people didn't necessarily like 2. I really enjoyed the story of 2, giving you a completely different perspective and like taking on the role of Big Daddy. That was crazy. Each his own. Yeah. Yeah, I get you guys. So, uh, yeah, that's 2 of mine so far. Blue, you want to go over your third one?
Yeah, so this one is probably it's not very well known, but I'm a massive War of the Worlds fan. I'm assuming a lot of people in the chat I've probably seen War of the Worlds and associate it with the Tom Cruise movie. But just for context, I've been a War of the Worlds fan for like school, primary school. I listened to and I read the original H.G. Wells novel and stuff like that. And essentially, it's like it's an alien invasion. It's Martians coming from Mars and attacking England. That's the original storyline. That's the GOAT by H.G. Wells. And the game, there's a game that the game that caught my attention on Steam is War of the Worlds, and it's up and coming title from Flip Switch Games. It aims to deliver excuse me, an intense survival horror experience set against the backdrop of a Martian invasion. Like I said, drawing inspiration from H.G. Wells' classic narrative, the game has been developed in development for years with pre-alpha footage offering a glimpse into its scope. Now, like the footage that Rod's probably showing you right now is the tripods, the actual Martians themselves. They look very much like the tripods from the Tom Cruise movie, which I don't mind because there's different like sort of variations of them. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this because it's a game that I will be playing. And I'll give you some like sort of a gameplay overview here. So it's set right in an open world environment, and players are thrust into the chaos of Earth's invasion by these formidable Martian fighting machines. And the game apparently offers 2 distinct modes. You've got Survivor mode, which players assume the role of human survivors striving to evade and combat the alien threat. This mode emphasizes stealth, resource scavenging, and strategic planning. Players can explore diverse landscapes from like suburban neighborhoods to dense forests, searching buildings for supplies, crafting weapons, and forming alliances or rivals with other survivors, multiplayer wise. I'm talking about here. The objective is to endure the onslaught and devise strategies to counter the Martian invaders. Now, again, putting it into context for you is that you're going to be struggling. These Martians, these fighting machines are overpowered as anything. So it's going to be about survival. It's going to be about trusting other players in the multiplayer environment, which I really dig. I'm really into. And then on the flip side, you can play as the Martians in a mode called Exterminator mode, a unique feature unveiled in recent gameplay footage that this allows players to play as the Martian fighting machines. In a third-person perspective, players can plot the iconic tripods wielding devastating weaponry to exterminate the human resistance, harvest their resources, and spread the infamous red weed to terraform the earth. So, like, the red weed. If you've seen the movies, it's pretty disturbing. The Martians feed on humans, inject needles into these humans, extract the blood and inject it into their own veins their own veins to feed, and then also spray it across the world to sort of terraform it into the Mars landscape. Yeah, pretty gruesome stuff. But I'm really looking forward to this game because I've always been obsessed with War of the Worlds and the Martian invasion, and the original movie. Sorry, the original concept was set in England, like I said, during the Victorian era, and like I said, sort of previously said that the Martians come over, they're overpowered, they're in big giant fighting machines using heat rays, and they're up against the army, which have essentially got muskets and cannons. So you can imagine the struggle of like getting overwhelmed by these Martians and things like that. But the game itself, going back to it, the key features like it's going to feature like immersive environments. The game boasts a variety of settings, like I said, including urban areas, secluded forests, um, buildings that you can go into, interiors such as like presenting unique challenges and opportunities for exploration and survival. You've got dynamic weather effects that have just been implemented. Players will see the weather patterns and environmental phenomena such as tornadoes and the spread of the red weed that I just said, adding layers to the unpredictability and the strategy to the gameplay itself. And what I'm looking forward to most is like the multiplayer experience, because you're going to be in there with other people. Designed as an online multiplayer game, enabling players to choose sides, either as the humans or the aliens. You can imagine some of the stuff that's going on. People are going to be operating like bandits and like hoarding munitions and supplies, resources and stuff. And the choices will be influenced by gameplay dynamics, objectives, and interactions within the game world. But I'm really, really excited to play this game. I mean, I guess a lot of you guys probably aren't even aware of this being in production, but obviously being a War of the Worlds fan, I've followed it quite a bit. And I think that it'll be a good game to play, like immersive. It'll be kind of like, I wouldn't say Fallout, but it's a survival game. You're going to be up against it. It's going to be like a hardcore survival game where these Martians are, like I said, overpowered, and you're going to have to avoid them. You're going to have to like sort of side with the military as well. But I think if you've seen the movies, the military get annihilated. These things have got shields. They're pretty much indestructible, and taking them down is going to be difficult. So yeah, that's my last one that I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, let me know in the chat if anyone else is sort of interested in this game, because I could talk about War of the Worlds for absolutely hours. I'm obsessed with it. It's like one of my favorite things, like along with the Fallout franchise.
Yeah, this one was brand new to me when you brought it up right before the cast as we were preparing for this. I'd not seen or heard anything about this. War of the Worlds is one of those franchises that's been dead in the water for so long. Seeing it just come out of nowhere is kind of crazy.
And it's like I think it's along the lines of a indie developer that's doing it. So they've obviously got and this is why I like this, because you get these indie developers that are going to be creating these games, and they're going to be pouring their heart and soul into it and trying to get as much attention. It's not going to be this AAA slop that they're going to be charging X amount of pounds for, or dollars, should I say? Excuse me. But you can see that even from the footage that I've watched, you can tell they are like enthusiasts. Like they know the lore inside out. They want to sort of project the immersion perfectly, and yeah, from what I've seen, it captures it really well. And I can't wait to like don a set of headphones and be in that sort of environment. I literally shitting myself hearing these fighting machines like being around and like try to scavenge and survive. I think it'll be an interesting, like, if anybody, when this comes out, I'll be jumping into the chat and looking to see if people want to join me, because I think it'll be a really immersive experience. You have to take your time. That you're going to be you're against overpowered enemies, and it's not going to be one of those ones that you're always going to be on the edge of your seat. I think it's going to be really, really good. And I just seen in a voice comment, I'm probably in the majority here, a minority, sorry, but I even enjoyed the Tom Cruise, and I agree with you. I really enjoyed the Tom Cruise movie. One of the key things, right? I'm going to go down the movie route here, is the H.G. Wells Martians, the fighting machines, did not have shields, so like the army could take them down with cannons and stuff, but it was very difficult. However, like you said, Void, the Tom Cruise movie, they had shields, and it was like they were practically indestructible until No spoiler, well, spoiler alert, but it was germs that killed them. It was illness. They came down with all this technology, the weaponry and stuff like that, but it was the what do you call it? It was bacteria that killed them essentially and took them down. I'm just reading this comment from Paul Denis. H.G. Wells wrote the book in the late 1800s. Orson Welles did a radio play reading in the 1930s that was so convincing that the public thought it was real. Yeah, great point. Some people that broadcast was put out in America, and some people thought it was that real. They committed suicide. Imagine that. That is fact. That's crazy, isn't it? Like people actually thought the Martians were invading, and they committed suicide. Man, Jesus, that's frightening, isn't it?
Yeah, that's wild as hell.
But yeah, those are the three. Those are the three games that are kind of piquing my interest. There's Atomfall and things like that, but those are like Battlefield. I want to be good. What was the other one I was talking about? Yeah, Kingsmakers looks just incredible. I was going to mention Doom the Dark Ages, but that's already been covered on a RawCast, so I didn't want to feature that. I already waxed lyrical about that for about an hour or so. But yeah, those are the ones, and obviously the one I just chatted about, War of the Worlds. What do you think, chat? I think I see a lot of positive stuff on chat regarding War of the Worlds because yeah, I just like the vibe of that, like try to survive against these like ferocious like fighting machines, and they are going to be overpowered. Rod, what was your thoughts on this? I know you touched on it slightly.
First thing I thought of was exactly what Patty said. It looks like destroy all humans we have at home. I know you talked a
Yeah,
lot about playing as a human, but really all that they've shown so far on this trailer release is playing as one of the tripods.
yeah. I think if I'm describing the game to people, it's a slightly more advanced. If you're playing as the humans, I just want to state that it looks kind of a more advanced version of DayZ. If I'm going to put it, you're surviving, you're scavenging, you're looking for food. There's obviously going to be, hunger levels. It's going to be like warmth levels and all that sort of stuff. Keeping yourself safe and try to avoid not only the Martians but other people that might be hostile. So yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be an interesting one. I definitely will be. As soon as this comes out, early access, I'm in.
Got you. I'll be keeping an eye on it. We'll be listening to what you have to say. I can't necessarily say that I'm excited for it or going to be playing it, but I will definitely keep an eye on it.
You know why? That's because you're boring.
Yeah. Speaking of boring, ladies and
Wait a minute.
gentlemen. Uh,
Can I just say sorry? One last thing on one of those. I just saw Lever the Hermit's comment. He said, "I saw a dev video where they show the physics of the tripods, and it blew my mind." Yeah, I've been following that video as well. And just an interesting wee fact for you, wee tidbit is they had a backup version of the tripods so they didn't get copyrighted because they originally used the Tom Cruise movie tripods, but they had a backup version just in case they got hit with copyright strikes or whatever by the actual movie developers or production team or whatever. So yeah, just throwing that little tidbit out. Sorry, Rod, I cut you off there.
no, you're good. You're good. I have not seen that Smooches. I have no interest in modern Disney. They keep. I saw a meme that said that even the raven wasn't, or even the bird wasn't. What they say? Damn. Even the bird wasn't spared. There it is. So in the cartoon movie, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, there's a scene where she's singing and a little bluebird lands on her finger, right? When the movie, it's a giant black raven. I just thought that's hilarious. I'm not watching
That's
that
another.
crap. Like,
That's another like controversy we could talk about. I know it's not a gaming. This is a gaming channel and stuff like that. But that new Snow White movie is her. What's that lead actress? Was it Rachel Zegler?
I
What
genuinely
a
have
knob.
no idea.
She is an absolute knobhead. Like honestly, chat. Back me up here. She is like one of the most entitled little sniveling brats I've ever seen in my life. She is awful, and like the CGI and stuff like I'm going to go on a rant here. I want to stop myself, but yeah, that Rachel Zegler, man, what a pathetic human being she is. Sorry, there's my thoughts on that one.
Yeah, I'll listen to you guys. I don't know anything about her. I don't know anything about the movie. I've just seen a couple memes, and that's literally it. I do know modern Disney though. I do know who
Well,
they
yeah,
are and what they are, and I can kind of already form an opinion without seeing it. Uh,
yeah, modern Disney, man. I mean, what are they doing? I mean, it's from things like The Little Mermaid, Snow White, they're just destroying it. They're absolutely destroying it to appeal to this mythical modern audience as usual. Absolute dog shit, mate.
well, one thing that looks like it's not gonna be complete dog shit. My third game, The
Go
Midnight
on.
Walk. This is where the image from the thumbnail actually came from. So in my Midnight Walk, you will follow the Midnight Walk in a dark adventure from the minds behind Lost in Random. Befriend a lost lantern creature and light your way through a world of wonder and terror. Outsmart monsters and marvel in details in a landscape handcrafted with real clay and animated in a stop motion style. So, for those of you that are familiar with the old school Tim Burton films, this takes heavy inspiration from like the art style of those Tim Burton films, like oh my god, The Nightmare Before Christmas and stuff like that. You can see clear inspiration from Tim Burton. Uh, One thing that really caught my interest with this game is how they actually handcrafted everything. The landscape, the creatures, everything were actually handmade, handcrafted from clay. The animations, everything. They did it in real life and 3D scanned it into the game's engine, and I thought that was a really cool concept. Really made for a unique art style and visual presentation. Uh,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ra. I laughed at while you were talking there. I just laughed at Patty's comment about Rachel Zegler. I hope I have to say this. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I really am. But I hope the gross earnings and the movie's budgets stay as gapped as Rachel Zegler's eyes are.
Damn,
Oh my god. Harsh, Patty, but I love it. Sorry, Ra. Sorry, I just had to fling that in because I was fucking laughing loud there.
all
Sorry.
good. Zalius and Smooches, I see you guys extremely excited for this one too. Uh, so yeah, the game is Tim Burton inspired dark fantasy adventures, sees you befriend a burning clay pot that you use to light your way through this intriguing nightmare world. From what we've seen so far, it's got some first person combat. I'm not sure exactly what else the gameplay truly consists of. It's been kind of vague on that. The main attraction here is the stop motion clay design that's actually real clay. Like I said, the devs painstakingly crafted the entirety of the game world in real life 3D scanned it into the engine. I really enjoyed these old Tim Burton film styles with the creepy designs as a kid. And it's even more appealing to me now with the mix of nostalgia and something entirely new. I'm really looking forward to this one. I know Smooches, you brought this one up multiple times. This is one that I too have had my eyes on. I'm extremely intrigued in this one. I'm curious to see exactly what all the game does entail, what it consists of. We're coming up on the launch too. This one actually has a release date. I think this is the only one on the list that has an official release date on 8th of May 2025. So we'll be seeing it within the next couple months. Yeah. Blue, what do you think about this one, chat? How you guys feeling about this one?
I've got no interest in this whatsoever. I'm sorry. This looks
Gotcha.
gash. I'm not. I know Tim Burton, and obviously, yeah, his stuff's really good and stuff. But this is not a game for me. This is not a blue game. No, no, sorry, I'm out.
May 8th, this sounds looks awesome. This Once Upon a Puppet and the Occultist are on my radar. I haven't heard of that one. Once Upon a Puppet and the Occultist. I haven't heard of either of those actually. And unfortunately, I can't play the music here as much as I would, but I can't do that. Unfortunately. Month of April. Yeah, I wish. I wish. Yeah, those are the main ones that I have on my radar. Of course, I'm also extremely interested in Kingmaker. That one I've definitely had my eyes on for a while. We've talked about that one a lot. Battlefield, I'm hopeful for. I want that one to succeed. Um, I don't know. There's a handful of games that are potentially slated to come out this year that I'm kind of looking forward to. That I think we've covered pretty much all of them though. And of course, Doom, like you said, we didn't cover Doom here, but we've already covered that one to death. Like, uh,
Yeah, I really look forward to Doom, but we did that in a previous RawCast. I done a pretty in-depth preview on that one if anybody wants to go back and watch or listen to that. But yeah, I mean, it does look fantastic. I'm super hyped for Doom and just the kind of new direction they're going in terms of the tanky, slower style of gameplay and stuff like that. Going back to the original, like the OG Doom. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Zalius, that one actually almost made this list. I know exactly what you're talking about. I will pull it up for anyone else. That is one that I was about to put on here. So this is a survival horror style game that's being created by Bloober Team. Bloober Team is the ones that's actually behind the Silent Hill 2 remake. The Medium, I
Oh,
don't really know anything about that. They're behind the Medium and the Silent Hill 2 remake. So this is a team that has history of successful like survival horror based games, but this one looks like something completely brand new. According to the Steam page, Chronos the New Dawn is a pulse-pounding third-person survival horror game that throws you into the heart of a deadly struggle against overwhelming foes, all while uncovering the mysteries of a twisted time travel story. So this is another one that kind of has to do with time travel, but in a survival horror aspect, and it looks incredible. I got it pulled up on screen so you guys can see it. I'm pretty sure most of you, this is going to be new to you. Blue, have you heard of this one?
no, I'm definitely not. I'm just like I say, I'm a little bit behind on stream, so I'm just kind of catching up on the footage now. But yeah, the from what I'm seeing is it looks it looks okay. So from what I've seen, yeah, survival horror, right?
Yeah,
Is that what you said?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, looks interesting. I've not played like a decent survival horror a game in a while. Like, see, when somebody says survival horror to me, I instantly think Alien Isolation, Outlast, and stuff like that. I wonder if this will, appeal to me. Even though some of the Resident Evil games, yeah, I've not played a good one in a while. I need to get that. Somebody asked earlier on. There was I can't remember who it was. They wanted us to play a game that was a multiplayer game. What was it? Chat, can you remind me?
I think that was Patty
Uh,
talking about Repo. I think
yeah,
that's what
that's
it's
the one.
called.
I
Slayer's
watched a bit
been
of foot.
playing that.
I watched a bit of footage and it looks funny. Looks like it could be a good laugh. So I might stick that on my list there and have a little go at that. But I need I really need a game, a horror game that gets me on my edge of my seat again. One of those ones that literally gives you jump scares and stuff like that. I want to be I want to be playing that a sort of game like that again because I've not had that in a while. Like a game that's kind of like I said, Alien Isolation, Fear, um, you know, Outlast, and like some of the Resident Evil games. But I would really like if anybody in the chat can recommend me one that's out now that I've just maybe skipped me by, then do it, please.
The Precinct looks okay. I don't know if this is necessarily my style of game, but it looks okay. Repo's one that Slayer's been trying to get me into for a little bit now. He's been wanting me to play that with him for like the past couple weeks. I've considered it. You guys look like you're pretty interested in that too. Post Online remake is coming. Demos available now. Got you.
Total Chaos. What's that? Is that? Let's have a look. I'm gonna have a quick look at that while you're talking.
Let's see, Total Chaos. I'm pulling that one up too.
Oh yeah, see it on Steam. So it's a yeah. This looks interesting.
Oh, wait a second. Dude, I played the demo for this during the Steam Next Fest stream. Yeah, we played this. I played the demo of it.
Cool.
It had some crazy atmosphere. I'll say that. The atmosphere was wild.
Okay, I'm gonna add that to my wish list. That looks good.
Happy yeah. Okay, the original build on GC Doom. Down. Got you. Let's see what's on. Oh, damn, bro, we've been going for almost an hour and a half. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, it's been a long one.
You ready to wrap it up? I know you got to get to bed. It's like my bad. I didn't even realize we've been live that long.
No, it's cool, man. It's cool. I might be on for a little bit longer, another hour or so. Not talking about the RawCast, but I'll still be awake, I guess. I think anyway. Just tie up a few things, but yeah, I think we've covered everything we need to on the itinerary and stuff like that. Yeah. We talked about the games we are kind of looking forward to. How much HASAN is a bell end or a knob end, whatever you want to call them.
No.
What else we got? Rachel Zegler's eyes are too far apart. I'm still laughing at yeah, yeah, that's good. Ellie's gay, by the way. That's another one. I don't know if you knew about that. Buy Tainted Grail. It's just a new patch. Plug in as always. I think we've covered everything.
Let me get one of these out here real quick before we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to conclude today's showing of the RawCast. If you enjoyed this show, please consider hitting that like button. Subscribe if you haven't noticed already. Share the stream, get us some additional exposure. I'm trying to get to 1,500 subs in the next couple of weeks, and I cannot do it without you guys. Thank you all for everything that you do. Shout out once again to Mr. Smooches for gifting a Raw Tactics membership while we were live. Love each and every one of you guys. We will be live here in just a little bit with most likely some Fallout New Vegas gameplay. I hope to see you over there. But until next time, I'm Raw Tactics. He's True Blue. We're going to catch you on the next one. God bless.
Have a good one, everyone. Remember, stay safe. Try to think of something funny to say. Can't think of anything. I'm just going to go away. Ellie's gay again. Appreciate you all coming out and supporting the RawCast, interacting with us all in chat and stuff like that. And yeah, hope to see you in the next one. Actually, completely forgot. And so did this clown, right? But we were supposed to be talking about the potential, well, the things that are coming up in terms of interviewing mods. Raw,
Oh
take
my
it away.
God. Oh, dude. Yeah, so, dude, we completely forgot about this. We interviewed Toxic Whiteout last week. Shout out to Whiteout once again for agreeing to do that. We have some potential up and coming mod authors as well. Shout out to Some Rooster. He made you guys know Some Guy, the Some Guy series, Some Rooster, his alternate account. He actually subbed to the channel. I've spoken with him briefly. I'm gonna be reaching out to him hopefully sometime soon. Shout out to Cellblock Psycho. You guys know exactly who Cellblock is. We're gonna try to get him on the cast next. Yeah, if there's anyone specific that you guys want to see, you guys want to hear from an up and coming RawCast, we're trying to get some more of these mod authors out here, trying to get them some exposure, and of course get us some additional exposure. If there's anyone specific, you guys will let me know, and I'll start networking and see what I can do. Oh yeah, of course, Lieber the Hermit. Dang, dude, I'm sorry. Lieber is one that we're gonna try to get on here soon as well. Of course, Mr.
Yeah,
Lieber, we're gonna be voice acting for his up and coming mod. There's no way we can leave that man out.
definitely 100%. I'm like, I think I mentioned it in yesterday's stream and stuff like that. I'm really, really excited to be doing that. Doing like he's got me. For people that are unaware, I've been rabbiting on about this for a while, but yeah, I'm going to be I'm going to be the arena character. I'll be leading an arena, chucking out insults and stuff like that. So here's one for you. This is what I'm going to drop you out, right? Drop it out to you. He's going to be sending me the script very, very soon, right? So I'm going to be voicing essentially a raider that's in charge of an arena, right? And I want you guys to chuck out on Discord. It doesn't have to be now in chat, but in the Blue Zone channel on Discord, give me some of your best insults that you would like to hear me shout, and I'll try and work them in there. I've already spoke to Libor, and he said that he's going to be, like he said, he's going to send me the script, but I'm going to be introducing and suggesting Scottish slang into some of his script, right? So get ready for that. I'm going to try and be as aggressive as possible, but I'm definitely going to get the sock comment in there somewhere, right? The sock getting in there, right? But suggestions in the Blue Zone, please. If you know if you've got anything that you want me to be shouting out and stuff, Anthropol guy's saying Blue is so nice and calm. How's he going to pull that off? Aye, right.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I sense a bit of sarcasm in that comment. But yeah, please do just drop some stuff that you would like to hear me say as part of this mod. but obviously I'll be following the script and I'll try and massage it into the Libor's text and script. So please feel free to do that. I'm super excited to do it. But yeah, Libor the Hermit. Hey, everyone, give Libor the Hermit a W in chat, because
Yes,
from what I've
please.
saw so far, it is top notch. What I've seen so far, and I'm super excited for it, and I'm sure you'll agree, Raw.
Oh yeah, we had a blast with the first install of Fallout Survivors. I'm extremely excited for Chapter 2, even without us voice acting. That's something I've been looking forward to. But now the fact that we are gonna be in that, of course, I'm
Oh,
excited
holy
for it.
shit! Holy shit! He sent the script already, mate.
Oh
I'm
no
buzzing.
way!
I've got the script.
What?
He's sent me, and he's just mentioned in chat that he's gave it to me prior to the RawCast. Mate, I'm looking forward to reading this as soon as this cast is finished.
No
So thank
spoilers.
you.
No
No,
spoilers.
no. There's definitely no spoilers. No way. But like I said, any suggestions in the chat in the Blue Zone to say for me to be spouting absolute obscenities would be appreciated, and I'll try and do my best. I'll try not to sound like Shrek either.
That's gonna do it, guys. Thank you all again for everything that you do. Shout out to Mr. Libra the Hermit. Drop a W if you haven't already. Until next time, y'all stay blessed.
Thank you, guys. Peace.
Live in stereo. Live in stereo.